everyone, and welcome to today's episode. My name is Julia, and I'm so happy that you are here with me. In this podcast, we are going to talk about something very important for English learners. The topic is how to remember English words. Many people who are learning English have the same problem. They learn a new word today, but after 2 or 3 days, they forget it. Maybe this has also happened to you. You read new words in a book, or you hear them in a movie, but later you cannot remember them when you need to speak. Don't worry, this is normal. It happens to everyone. But here's the good news. There are many simple and powerful ways to help you remember words for a long time. In today's episode, I will share these methods with you, step by step. You will learn why we forget words and what you can do to keep them in your memory. So if you are ready, let's begin our journey together and discover how to remember English words in a smart and easy way. Now, before we talk about how to remember English words, we first need to understand why we forget them. This is very important because when we know the reason, we can find the solution more easily. So let's think about it. Why do we forget English words? There are a few main reasons. First reason, we don't use the word. When we learn a new word, but we never say it, never write it, and never hear it again, our brain thinks it is not important. Our brain is very smart. It always tries to save space. If the brain feels that a word is not useful, it slowly pushes it away. That's why if you only read a word once and never use it, you will forget it. Second reason, we learn too many words at the same time. Sometimes learners try to memorize long word lists, 20, 50, or even 100 words in one day. Of course, you can read them, but your brain cannot keep all of them in memory. It's like trying to carry a very heavy bag. You drop things because the bag is too full. The same thing happens with your memory. Third reason, we don't connect the word with meaning or feeling. If we only try to remember letters and spelling, it is hard. But when we connect the word with a picture, a sound, or an emotion, it becomes stronger in our memory. For example, if you just see the word apple on a list, maybe you forget it. But if you imagine eating a red apple, smelling it, or holding it in your hand, the memory is stronger. Fourth reason, we don't review the word after some time. Many learners read a new word, but then they don't look at it again. The brain needs reminders. If we don't review, the word will disappear from memory. Scientists say that forgetting is natural. Our brain forgets things very fast if we don't repeat them. So, my friends, if you have ever learned a new word and then forgotten it, please remember, this is not your fault. It is just how the brain works. Forgetting is natural. Everyone forgets. Even native speakers sometimes forget words. The important thing is this. When we know why we forget, we can use smart methods to remember words for a longer time. And that's what I'm going to teach you in the next parts of this podcast. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful ways to remember English words. Learning words in context, not alone. Many learners think that the best way to learn English is to memorize long lists of words. For example, you see a list like apple, run, beautiful, happy, quickly, and you try to remember them one by one. But here is the problem. When you see words alone like this, your brain finds it hard to remember them. The words have no connection, no story, no feeling. It is like trying to remember random numbers without any meaning. So, what is the solution? The best way is to learn words in context. This means learning words inside sentences, short stories, or situations where they are used naturally. When a word has meaning and a situation, your brain remembers it much better. For example, instead of just memorizing the word happy, you can learn it in a sentence. I feel happy when I see my friends. Now you remember not just the word happy, but also how it is used in real life. Another example is the word run. Instead of memorizing it alone, try, I run every morning in the park. Now, your brain connects the word with an action and a situation. This makes it easier to remember and to use when you speak. You can also learn words through short stories. For example, reading a story about a boy in a park can teach many words like tree, swing, play, friend, smile. Your brain remembers them better because they are connected in a story. Even when you speak, try to make your own sentences. If you learn the word delicious, make a sentence. This pizza is delicious. Your brain remembers it because you used it in a real situation, not just by memorizing. Remember, learning words in context is much more effective than learning them alone. Words in sentences, stories, or conversations are easier to remember and easier to use in real life. Now, we are going to talk about one of the most important secrets to remembering English words: repetition and spaced practice. Many learners forget words because they learn them only once. If you read a new word today and never see it again, your brain will forget it quickly. This is normal. But there is a solution. Repeat the words in the right way. First, let's talk about repetition. Repetition means seeing, saying, or writing the word many times. The more you repeat a word, the stronger it becomes in your memory. For example, if you learn the word beautiful, you can say it out loud 5 to 10 times today. Write it in a sentence 2 to 3 times. Use it in a short conversation with yourself or a friend. Next, let's talk about spaced practice. Spaced practice means repeating the word after some time, not all at once. For example, learn a word today, review it tomorrow, review it again after 3 days, review it again after 1 week. When you do this, your brain remembers the word for a longer time. Scientists call this the spacing effect. It works because the brain needs small reminders to keep information. You don't need to repeat hundreds of words at once. It's better to focus on 5 to 10 words each day, repeat them in the coming days, and slowly build your vocabulary. Quality is better than quantity. You can use simple methods for repetition and spaced practice. Notebook method. Write new words in a notebook and review them daily. Phone notes. Make a small list in your phone and check it every day. Flashcards. Write the word on one side and the meaning on the other. Then test yourself every few days. Here's a simple example. If today you learn the word delicious, you can say it 5 times today. Make a sentence. This pizza is delicious. Review it tomorrow and repeat the sentence. Review it again after 3 days. Review it after 1 week. By doing this, the word will stay in your memory for a long time, and you will be able to use it naturally when you speak or write. Remember, repetition plus spaced practice equals long-term memory. This is one of the most powerful ways to remember English words. Now let's talk about a very fun and effective way to remember English words: connecting words with images and feelings. Our brain remembers things better when there is a picture or feeling connected to the word. Think about it. Have you ever forgotten a number from a list, but remembered a picture from a story? Pictures and feelings are stronger than just letters. For example, take the word apple. If you just read the word on a list, maybe you forget it. But if you imagine a red apple in your hand, imagine biting it and tasting it, your brain will remember the word much better. You created a connection between the word and your imagination. Another example is the word happy. Instead of just learning the meaning, think of a moment when you felt very happy. Maybe a birthday, a trip, or a fun day with friends. When you connect the word to a real feeling, your brain will remember it naturally. You can also use stories or small situations. For instance, if you want to remember the word rainy, imagine a scene. It is raining, I have an umbrella, and I hear the drops on the roof. Your brain sees the picture and feels the situation. Some learners even draw simple pictures in their notebooks to remember words. For example, if you learn the word jump, draw a stick figure jumping. This is simple, but it works very well. So the key is, visualize the word in your mind. Connect it with a feeling or situation. Use stories or drawings if you like. When you do this, remembering words becomes easier, faster, and more fun. It's not just memorizing, it's learning with your imagination and emotions. Now, one of the best ways to remember English words is to use them. Words that are used often are never forgotten. So, speaking and writing with new words is very important. Let's start with speaking. When you learn a new word, try to say it out loud. Don't just read silently. For example, if you learn the word excited, make a sentence and say it, I am very excited to watch a movie tonight. Saying the word helps your brain remember it because you are using it actively. You can also talk to yourself in English. This may feel strange at first, but it works very well. Describe your day or tell a story using new words. For example, today I walked in the park. The weather was beautiful and I felt happy. Here, you are practicing new words in sentences, and your brain stores them better. Next is writing. Writing words in sentences, journals, or short paragraphs is very helpful. For example, keep a small notebook and write 5 to 10 new words every day. Make a sentence for each word. This is simple but very effective. You can also use messages or social media. If you want, write a short message to a friend using a new word. For example, I feel tired today, but I am still motivated to study English. Remember, using words in real-life situations is much stronger than just memorizing them. Your brain says, this word is useful. I will keep it. So the key tips are, speak new words out loud. Make sentences with them. Write them in a notebook or message. Use them in daily life, even a little bit. By speaking and writing regularly, words will become part of your memory naturally, and soon you will be able to use them without thinking. Another very useful way to remember English words is grouping them by theme or category. When we learn words that are related to each other, it is easier for the brain to remember them. For example, imagine you are learning food words. You can group words like this: rice, bread, meat, soup, fruit. When you see these words together, your brain connects them. It is easier to remember rice because you already remembered bread and soup. The same works for other categories like travel, airport, ticket, suitcase, hotel, map. Emotions: happy, sad, angry, excited, nervous. School, teacher, student, classroom, homework, book. Grouping words also helps you use them in sentences. For example, if you learn travel words together, you can make a small story. I packed my suitcase, took my ticket, and went to the airport. You can also make your own categories depending on your life. For example, words for your hobbies, your work, or your daily routine. This way, the words are more relevant and easier to remember. Remember, learning a few words well is better than learning many words randomly. Grouping words makes learning more organized and easier for your memory. Now, let's talk about memory tricks, also called mnemonics. These are fun and easy ways to remember words, especially difficult ones. A mnemonic is a simple trick that helps your brain connect the word with something easy to remember. For example, some words are hard to spell, but a small sentence or story can help you. For example, to remember the spelling of because, you can use this trick: big elephants can always understand small elephants. It is funny and easy to remember, and it helps your brain keep the letters in order. Another example is the word arid, which means very dry. You can think, a desert is very arid. Here, you connect the word with a picture or situation, and your brain remembers it faster. You can also make your own memory tricks. For example, if you want to remember the word gigantic, you can imagine a giant cat. It is funny and visual, and your brain will remember the word gigantic easily. The key is mnemonics should be simple, funny, or visual. Your brain loves stories and pictures. When you make a small trick, the word becomes unforgettable. So, remember, use memory tricks for difficult words, spelling, or meaning, and you will see how much easier it is to remember English words. Now let's talk about daily habits that help you remember English words. Learning a word once is not enough. You need small, simple habits every day to keep words in your memory. First habit, review a few words every day. You don't need to review hundreds of words. Just 5 to 10 words each day is enough. Look at old words you learned, repeat them, and make a sentence with each word. Small daily practice is better than long, rare study. Second habit, keep a notebook or a phone note. Write new words in a small notebook or on your phone. Every day, check your list and read the words. You can also add sentences or short stories. This habit is very simple but very powerful. Third habit, use words in your daily life. Try to speak or write at least a little every day. For example, describe your day in English using new words. Say, "Today I ate a delicious breakfast and walked in the park. It was sunny and beautiful." When you use words every day, your brain remembers them naturally. Fourth habit, keep learning a little, but regularly. It's better to learn a few words daily for months than to learn many words in one day and forget them. Consistency is the key. Remember, learning English is like watering a plant. Small, regular care makes it grow strong. Daily habits are your water, sunlight, and soil. By following these habits, you will notice that remembering words becomes easier, faster, and more natural. Now, let's talk about something very important: motivation and patience. Learning English words takes time. Sometimes you will forget words even after practicing. This is normal. Don't be frustrated or give up. Remember, everyone forgets words sometimes, even native speakers. The key is to stay motivated. Set small goals like learning 5 new words every day or making 3 sentences with new words. Celebrate these small wins. Every small step counts, and slowly you will see big progress. Also, be patient. Your brain is learning a new skill, and skills need time. Don't rush. Learning words is like planting seeds. You water them, give them sunlight, and in time, they grow into strong, healthy plants. So, always encourage yourself. Say, "I am improving my English every day. I can remember words better and better." Positive thoughts will help your memory and your confidence. Remember, motivation plus patience equals success in learning words. And now, we have reached the end of today's episode. Let's quickly review what we learned. We talked about why we forget English words and learned that forgetting is natural. Then we discussed many powerful ways to remember words. Learn words in context, not alone. Use repetition and spaced practice. Connect words with images and feelings. Speak and write new words regularly. Group words by theme or category. Use memory tricks or mnemonics. Follow daily habits to review words. And finally, stay motivated and patient. Remember, learning English words is not just about memorizing. It's about using your brain in smart ways, practicing a little every day, and connecting words with real life. I want you to know one very important thing. You can do this. Every word you learn is a step forward. Every small effort matters. If you practice regularly and use the tips we discussed today, your memory will improve, and speaking English will become easier and more natural. Thank you so much for listening today. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, you are capable of learning and remembering English words. I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Until then, keep learning, Keep practicing and keep believing in yourself. Goodbye.